Hey guys, it's Kara, and I'm here to talk about my diabetes a little bit more in detail. And actually, before I go into detail, I'm going to test my sugar. I figured, why not, and tell you what I am right now at this moment. Now, it is in the evening. I haven't eaten anything since 1 o'clock, and when I ate, I had lunch, which was a bowl of soup. And it was like a normal portion of soup that didn't have like noodles or pasta or anything. It was just beef and vegetables. So, right now, I am 124. I don't know if you can see that. Can you? I don't know. It's probably backwards. Who cares? 124 is great. Normal blood sugar for me should be 80 to 120. So 4 points over. What's that? So I just wanted to talk to you today about low blood sugar. Now I've mentioned it in my What is Type 1 Diabetes video, which I'll link below. But I wanted to go into detail about what low blood sugar feels like. So, for example, the last time I was low, I was sitting on the sofa watching TV. I was happy, things were good, and I'm just sitting there talking. All of a sudden, I feel a little weird, but nothing out of the normal. I figure I'll test my sugar. I tested my sugar, and I was in the 60s. So to me, that's low, because I'm never really low much, but when I am, it's like a big deal because I'm like, oh my god, I need to correct this. I can't feel this way. So of course, like I said, I was feeling just a little bit off, and then I tested my sugar. All of a sudden, I feel low. It's a mental thing, of course, but sometimes that happens. If you're a diabetic, you know what I mean. You test your sugar and all of a sudden you feel the symptoms. It happens, and you'll be surprised. So I corrected my blood sugar, and that time I was feeling low, I was shaky, I was kind of panicky a little bit because I didn't know if I was going to drop and keep dropping, or if I was just kind of leveling out at that number and that what I was going to eat was going to bring it up. So that's an okay time when I'm low. Now there is a more often feeling of when I'm low. It'll happen like this. Regardless of what you're doing, your brain might feel a little fogged. Kind of as if, you're confused and lost. Have you ever been somewhere you didn't know where you were going and you were just kind of like confused? How did I get here? Kind of thing. And then you have no energy at all. Like, to move an inch takes every muscle and in your body just to get there. And then of course you're feeling shaky. And when I mean shaky, I mean you're shaking so much so you can't hold things. And then at the same time as all of these other feelings, you're in a cold sweat. I don't know about you guys who are diabetic, but when I have a cold sweat, I am drenched. It's like I've been running for like 2 hours straight. I'm drenched. It just hits you at once. So you're drenched in this sweat. But then you're freezing. So you're cold. So you're shivering because you're cold and shaking because you're low. You're in like this cold sweat. But then you don't want to eat or drink anything. You want to be left alone. So whatever you have to do to correct yourself is like such an effort. As if, you'd rather just keep dropping and say, oh well. But of course you don't, because nobody actually does. It's just a feeling at the same time. It may be a little bit confusing, but. So you test your sugar, you find out how low you are, and you have to eat or drink something. And you do that, and depending on what you choose to correct yourself with, which I use glucose tablets or juice or glucose powder, glucose gel. I've explained that in another video. So that could take 15-20 minutes to show an improvement in your blood sugar. So this whole time you're waiting. I mean, if anybody knows how to wait on a clock, you know, you're waiting to get out of work and you're looking at the clock and it's the last 10 minutes and that 10 minutes seems like an hour. Well, imagine that feeling on top of a semi-medical emergency, which is even worse. So you're sitting there and you test your sugar again. So now you're fine. Your blood sugar is fine. Now, did you correct too much? Did you correct enough? That's a little teeter-totter game that a lot of diabetics have fun with. But then you're still feeling like completely just worn out. Like, you feel so bad. So once you wait a little bit longer and check your sugar to find out whether or not you've gone up too high or too low, you have like a hangover effect. It really drains you. I mean, imagine feeling like that in a day when you're doing something really important, like you're at work or at school. It totally can throw things off for a bit. Now, depending on how you get when you're low, you can bounce right back like nothing. But there are chances you're going to feel a little bit like, whew, that was bad. And it depends on how often that happens to you. Like I said, I don't go low as often as I go high. But when I go low, because I'm not low often, it feels even worse. If that makes sense. If you're not used to something, when it happens, it feels a lot worse. So, that's what a low blood sugar feels like. It doesn't feel fun, and a lot of times diabetics are like, yay, I'm low, I can have cake and chocolate and eat whatever. Yeah, you can if you want. But I personally don't like how that feels. Nope. I just wanted to go up, go normal, and be fine so I can go about my day. So I hope that helped you understand a little bit about what low blood sugar feels like. Now, if you're watching this and you're a diabetic too, whether it be type 1 or type 2, comment down below and tell me how you feel when you're low. Even though it's across the board that diabetics feel this way, maybe you feel a different way. Maybe some diabetics might be able to understand other signs and symptoms that other people have to get a little better idea of how to feel too, to catch your blood sugar when it's dropping. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Again, comment below. Tell me how you feel when you're low. And until my next video, you guys take care.